So you're wondering what spinal stenosis is? Well, watch this video because I'm going to tell you all about it. Let's get started. Hey everybody, so it's Estelle and welcome back to my channel, Live Your Life Like It's Chocolate. So if you've been following me for any length of time, or if you're new to my channel and you've been watching some of my videos, you know that I have talked previously, but very briefly, about the fact that I have spinal stenosis. Specifically, I have lumbar spinal stenosis, but I do have some symptoms of stenosis in my thoracic region. You can get stenosis in your lumbar and your cervical, which is your neck, and lumbar, of course, is your lower back. And in my videos, I've talked about pain, but I've never really talked about stenosis specifically, and giving a little bit more detail about symptoms, treatment, medications you can be on. So that's what this video is about. It's not going to be a very long video. I am going to do other videos about chronic pain and go into more detail about treatments, medication treatments, and other, surgical and chiropractic and all of that. I'll go into more detail of those subjects in future videos. Like I said, I have lumbar spinal stenosis, and stenosis is defined as just narrowing. So let's say this right here is your spinal column, and as the stenosis starts to take effect, and as the years progress in your spine, your spinal column starts to narrow. And as it narrows, it constricts on the nerves, and that is what causes that is what causes the pain in your back. Now, there are about I would say, from the research I've done, there is usually about 200,000 cases of spinal stenosis every year, which it's not a lot compared to a lot of other diseases, but it's enough, at least in my view. So what are the symptoms of spinal stenosis? Well, pretty much pain. And I would say, of course, I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not claiming to be one, but I would say pain that, lasts weeks. Then I would suggest you go to your doctor and say, okay, I need to get checked. Pain that radiates down your legs to your feet. You can feel the pain in your back, your buttocks, your legs, and your feet, of course. Some people, such as myself, get numbness in your legs and your feet. I have numbness in the back of my left leg and the bottom of my left foot where my toes are. Of course, cervical stenosis, the symptoms are probably more in your neck. I'm not really familiar with what cervical stenosis patients go through with their pain. I'm just talking about lumbar spinal stenosis because it relates to what I'm doing, or what I feel, not what I'm doing, but what I feel on a daily basis. You can have muscle weakness, which I do have in my legs and feet. Every once in a while I'll get out of my car, or I'll be walking in the store, or just walking out to the kitchen, and I can only describe it as, I don't want to say it feels like my feet are going to give out from under me. It's that, but it's also like a snap. And it's probably more like a cramping, but it doesn't feel like a cramp. To me, it feels like it's going to snap. And I have to, and for me, it's a split second. It doesn't last very long. And I have to kind of stop for a second and recover. I usually try to grab something like real quick so I can prevent myself from hopefully not falling. I have fallen once. When I fell, I was walking from my bed to my table here where I'm sitting, and I happened to step, it was a very weird thing, I just stepped on a cord from my heat gun, because I also do painting. And I stepped on the heat gun and poof, I just fell. It was the weirdest thing. Thank God I did not hurt myself. I did not break anything. The only thing, thank God nobody saw me, because of course I would have been embarrassed, you know. The only damage I did was to my glasses. They're all scratched up in the front and they're a little bent, but that can be repaired. Muscle cramping I do have on occasion, but it feels more like a Charlie horse to me. I also have this other symptom that I wasn't sure if it was a symptom or a figment of my imagination, but I'm in a Facebook group and I've seen people describe this feeling or this sensation of it's like somebody's touching you on the arm, but there's nobody there, you know, like this, somebody's touching you. So I also have that, and it's kind of a weird feeling when you feel like something's crawling on you. Ugh, that's the creepiest feeling. So now what are the treatments? Well, you can do some medication. You can do pain med, you know, or you can do, I've been prescribed in the past, muscle relaxers. I've been prescribed pain medication. There is also, you could also take over-the-counter anti-inflammatories. I've also been prescribed large dose anti-inflammatories. I don't like to take those all that much, only because they make me very drowsy. Even when I cut the dose of the pill in half or even in quarters, and I take a very small pill, it still makes me pretty loopy, and I don't really like feeling like that. So I try and just do the over-the-counter Advil, which helps depending on my pain level. I can experience pain from a 1 all the way to a 20, depending on the day. 20 is usually if I've maybe hurt myself and I'm having trouble walking. But most of the time my pain is probably when I'm walking or standing, maybe a 6, 7. I cannot stand for more than 10 minutes at a time without being in pain, literally pain. It feels, for me, of course I can't speak for everybody else, but it feels like when I'm walking or I'm standing for long periods of time, it feels like my back is gonna break in half. And I also get the same feeling when I'm walking. Of course, you know, if I don't walk for exercise, I get that way. And exercise for me is one of the best things to help relax the muscles. You can also do self-care, which is exercise, like I said. You can do physical therapy also. I also, under self-care, because I used to do physical therapy years ago, and for me self-care is also stretching. And I use some of the exercises that I learned in physical therapy for my to do my stretching. Of course there's surgery, steroid injections, and those you would have to see. I would recommend seeing a neurosurgeon. When you are going to get diagnosed for your spinal stenosis, you are going to, let's say you're in pain, and it's been progressing and lasting for several weeks. You're going to go to a doctor and you're going to give your doctor your symptoms, and your doctor is more than likely going to send you to a specialist. I would recommend a neurosurgeon. Your doctor can also order, an x-ray. More than likely will order an initial x-ray to see what's going on. Sometimes the x-rays won't show anything, so if your Let's say your doctor says, well, I don't really see anything, let me give you, take some Advil, or, if they prescribe some muscle relaxers, if it persists after that, then, I would go back to your doctor and try and either demand an MRI or go see a neurosurgeon. Do not see a chiropractic surgeon. You should always go to a neurosurgeon. Very, very important. And the doctor will order an MRI or a CT scan, and that will show whether you have stenosis. For me, I was a candidate for surgery, but that was years ago, and I'm sure that my back is much worse now than it was back then. But I don't see myself doing surgery because a lot of times it does not work. It doesn't help. Sometimes it makes the situation worse. Spinal stenosis, as far as I know, cannot be healed or cured. You can prevent the pain. You can do things to prevent the pain, meaning, exercise and a good healthy diet. That's one of the reasons I'm trying to lose weight. I try. It's not always easy because I'm half Italian. I like to eat. Hello. I've been that way all my life. But, you are your own advocate for yourself. So when you know, or when you're diagnosed with spinal stenosis, you have to also do the self-care to try and heal yourself. Some people use cannabis oil also for their pain. I have not tried that. I try and do the exercise, the stretching, the Advil, and whatever my doctor recommends to do. So that's just a basic introduction to spinal stenosis and what it's all about. And like I said, in the future videos, I'm going to talk in more depth about the different medications, physical therapy, surgery, different types of surgery, pain. I'm going to go into all those details in future videos. I hope that this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have gotten some information and you can get a informal basis for what spinal stenosis is, and I hope that you will you have enjoyed the video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you can get notice when I'm doing a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.